Students, today we are going to study a new chapter which is uniform circular motion. So we are going to study uniform circular motion. So what is uniform circular motion? When a body moves on a circular path and covers equal distance in equal interval of time, then the motion is called uniform circular motion. When a body moves on a circular path and covers equal distance in equal interval of time, then the motion is called uniform circular motion. So, a body must move on a circular path and covers equal distance in equal interval of time. Then it is said to be uniform circular motion. Now, in uniform circular motion, the speed of a body is constant. In uniform circular motion, the speed of a body is constant, but due to change in the direction of motion at every point on the circular path, its velocity changes. Since speed is constant, but the direction at every point is changing, which is along the tangent drawn at that particular point. So the velocity at every point is changing. So in uniform circular motion, the speed of a body is constant, but due to change in the direction of motion at every point on the circular path, its velocity changes. The direction of velocity at every point is along the direction of the tangent drawn at that point on the circular path. The direction of velocity at a particular point is along the tangent. So the direction at every point is changing. So the velocity at every point is changing. But speed is constant. Since the velocity is changing at every point, and acceleration is produced in the body. Since velocity is changing at every point and acceleration is produced in the body, so uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion. So uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion, and the direction of acceleration is towards the center of the circular path, and the direction of acceleration is toward the center. This is the center O. The direction of acceleration is toward the center of the circular path and is called the centripetal acceleration, and this acceleration is called the centripetal acceleration, and the force acting toward the center is called centripetal force, and the force acting toward the center is called centripetal force. Acceleration acting toward the center is called centripetal acceleration, and the force acting toward the center is called the centripetal force. Let a body moves on a circular path of radius r. Let a body moves on a circular path of radius r and covers very small linear displacement delta s. This is linear displacement delta s, and angular displacement delta theta. Angular displacement is delta theta from the point A to the point B. The body moves from point A to point B. When the body moves from point A to point B, its linear displacement is delta s and angular displacement is delta theta. The velocities at A and B, the velocities at the point A and point B are v1 and v2 respectively along the tangent, but their magnitude are same, which is v. This is v1 at the point A and this is v2 at the point B, but this magnitude of this v1 and v2 is same, which is v. Since the velocities v1 and v2 are perpendicular to the radius r, this v1 and v2 both are perpendicular to the radius. The angle between them is also delta theta. Here v1 and v2. Since here v1 is perpendicular to v1 and v2 both are perpendicular to the radius. So angle between v1 and v2 is also delta theta. Now let us draw the velocity vectors v1 as pq. This v1 is represented as pq and v2 is represented as pr, making an angle delta theta with each other. Angle between them is delta theta. Then qr gives the change in velocity delta v. This delta v is represented as qr. This qr gives the delta v, which is the change in velocity. Now the two triangle AOB, this triangle AOB and triangle PQR, both are similar. Therefore this delta v by v that will be equal to delta s by r. Magnitude of v1 and v2 is v. Therefore delta v by v, don't be confused that why v is taken. The magnitude of v1 and v2 both are v. Therefore delta v by v is equal to delta s by r, or delta v equal to v by r into delta s. Now acceleration a equal to delta v by delta t. We know that acceleration is change in velocity by change in time. So delta v by delta t, that is the acceleration. Putting delta v equal to v by r into delta s, we get acceleration a equal to v by r into delta s by delta t. This delta s by delta t, that gives the velocity. Change in displacement per unit time, that is the velocity. So delta s by delta t is the velocity. So acceleration is equal to v by r into v, or acceleration is equal to v square by r. Acceleration is equal to v square by r. Now when delta t is very small, time is very small, then delta v, which is the change in velocity, will also be very small, and it may be also zero, In that case delta v will be perpendicular to v. This change in velocity delta v will be perpendicular to v, and the direction perpendicular to v is along the radius and towards the center of circular path. Therefore acceleration acts on the body toward the center of a circular path. Therefore acceleration acts on the body toward the center of a circular path. This is called the centripetal acceleration. This change in velocity will be directed toward the center of the circular path along the radius. Therefore the acceleration will be toward the center, and this acceleration is called centripetal acceleration. Therefore centripetal acceleration is written as a equal to v square by r. If the body has mass m, then the centripetal force will be F is equal to m into a, or F equal to m into v square by r. We know that v equal to omega r. V is the linear velocity, omega is the angular velocity, and r is the radius of the circular path. V is the linear velocity, omega is the angular velocity, and r is the radius of the circular path. We know that v is equal to omega r, where omega is the angular velocity of the body. Putting it in centripetal acceleration, in the formula of centripetal acceleration, a equal to v square by r. Putting v equal to omega r, it will be omega r square by r. or A equal to omega square r square by r, that will give you omega square r, or A equal to omega square r. So in terms of angular velocity, centripetal acceleration is equal to omega square r. Now centripetal force is equal to mv square by r, or F is equal to m, putting the value of v as omega r, so F will be m omega r square by r, or F is equal to omega m omega square r square by r. So it will finally give F equal to omega square r. So centripetal force is m omega square r.